So hi, Will and the Good Noise Podcast are here with Billy Cobb. We're going to ask him some questions today. I'm going to start. What inspired you to start making music?
What inspired me to start making music? Okay, so this is actually really cheesy, but so I used to be like a huge Eminem fan in middle school,
Okay.
and I mean, like I still like his old stuff and every now and then, but like I was like a huge fan, so like so he got me into music, and then obviously I transitioned more into like rock music and stuff in later on. But I mean, I always liked music. I was like, I used to sing and stuff in elementary school just for fun, and like I was always interested in like Green Day was always my favorite band, like from elementary school, and like I still like them, so like they're a big part of it. But like I don't know, I guess I was always just a musical person.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
see it.
that's wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is your writing process like?
I don't really have a specific writing process. I get asked this quite a bit, and I never really know how to answer it because it really just depends. Uh, like if I'm sometimes it'll literally just be I have a really cool song name and then I try to make a song that sounds like the song name. Sometimes I have a melody in my head that I want to make into a song. Sometimes I come up with some really cool chords or something on the piano or the guitar, which I will turn that into a song. And sometimes I just have an idea of what I want a song to be, and then I try to make it into a song. As far as like actual construction of a song goes, I usually just start with I usually write things on piano, sometimes on guitar, but most of the time I figure things out on piano. I just have the chords in my head and I just figure them out. That's I really don't have much of a process. It just kind of happens.
That's
All right.
fair.
Yeah. So when you are making music, what artists are your biggest inspirations?
It really just depends on what mood I'm feeling. Like if you listen to a lot of my records, like it's kind of I mean like it has kind of a consistent sound, but it's also occasionally all over the place. Like I've made folk records, I've made pop records, I've made punk records. Like it's really just depends on who I'm listening to at the time or what sound I'm going for. Obviously, Weezer is a big one. That literally two albums named after them that are literally mocking them. So that's obvious.
Yeah.
That's an obvious one. Um, I'm really inspired by bands like Bright Eyes and the Microphones a lot. They're like I just love I kind of identify with that like folk, that lo-fi raw folk sound, I guess. So like those two bands come to mind.
All right, sick. So you mentioned your two albums that are mocking Weezer. Zerwee 2 recently came out. How do you feel about the reception to it?
Actually, it was better than I thought it would be because it's like I said in the description on the video that I uploaded. It's not quite as upbeat as the first one, and I thought a lot of people were gonna get turned off by that because the first one a lot of people liked it. Even people that don't necessarily listen to Weezer love that record because it's just like it's a fun album, and while Zerwee 2 has its fun moments, it doesn't have that same energy, at least not in like a more upbeat sense. So I was kind of worried how people would receive that because most people were probably expecting like a more like Zerwee 1 kind of record where everything's all fun and stuff, and I mean there are, like I said, it has its fun moments, but I was kind of going for more of like an epic, more arranged thing, and people mostly liked it. I think the only people that don't like it mostly are the same people that don't like the first one, and honestly, I don't really care if you don't like it. That's fine. But it does bother me when people complain that it's ripping off Weezer because that's literally the point of it.
Yeah, that's literally, bruh. Yeah.
That is the whole point.
That's
Wait, how
literally.
often do you get that? Now, do you point it out to them like it's literally Weezer?
Yeah, I at first I did it like all the time, like every time I got in that. And it's not like I guess it's not like constant, but that's like one of the biggest things people that don't like it like that's one of the biggest things they say is that like it's not good because it's just ripping off Weezer. Like I understand it's ripping off Weezer. I have other records that aren't ripping off Weezer that aren't named after Weezer. Like I think if it was named something else, then that like the name really has a lot to do with it. Like if it was named something else, it would kind of be like my own record that's ripping off Weezer. But because it's called Zerwee, it's like obviously it's a Weezer impersonation. So
Yeah.
so that's yeah. So now I get it. Like I said, I don't get it too often, but I get it often enough to where I just don't really care anymore.
Okay.
And you know,
All right. So you've only done a few collabs according to your Spotify page. Is there a reason for that, or is it just?
I mean, some of those are just like super early. Like sometimes like someone would just like hit me up and just be like, "Hey, can I have a hook?" or whatever, and I'll be like, "Fine," because I'm just like a nice guy and I don't like saying no to people.
Mm-hmm.
And like so I just like literally spend 30 minutes on a hook and then just like send it to them and they're like, "Thanks, great."
Yeah.
And like I don't know. I don't get approached a whole. Well, I've been getting approached more, but it's more like I kind of only want to collab with people that I actually listen to, like or like I'll listen to them when they approach me, and like if I like their music, then I'll do a collab with them. Like I have like 2 or 3 more collabs like that are in the works or were already made but just haven't been released yet from people that like I listened to and were like, hey, this is pretty legit, like I like this, so I'll collab with them. But like yeah, the ones that are on Spotify, I'm not really sure what they are. Actually, the one with Virtual Bird, aka Jane Reynolds, that one was, we did the thing together. Like we spent a lot, we got together on Discord and we spent some time on that one. So that one like was that I like really like that one. But the other ones I just whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's fair. So you've been doing this, at least from Spotify, you've been doing this since late 2016. And since then you've put out 22, like a collection of 22 EPs and albums, like
Wow.
put together. And that's 9 hours, almost 9 hours of music.
Wow.
How-
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, dude. How do you continuously like put out new EPs and albums and just songs without getting like hitting a writer's block or getting bored of it?
It's really, I mean, like I'm just driven to write songs, and every time, like I'm always constantly listening to new music, and because whenever I find a new band that I really like or a new song or whatever, then I'm really inspired by that sound. I'll try to capture that energy, and like I don't know, it's just constant inspiration to do things, and the fact that I'm independent and I don't have to like go through the whole record release thing where like, you know, you have to schedule a release and you have to do all this promotion and stuff. Like I don't have to do that because I'm independent, so I can really just record and release things as much as I want, and I record everything in my bedroom, so it's, you know, it's not
All right. So it's just the freedom and just that.
yeah, it's yeah. I even when I'm not inspired though, that this is what kind of sucks is that like I even when I'm not inspired, I feel the need to get inspired. Like I want to make more music, and like that's when I kind of get writer's block. But like I want to be making new things. I guess I always have a drive to make new things regardless. But most of the time, my work is pretty inspired.
Oh, all right. That's cool.
Are you able to tell us a little bit about your headspace when you're writing music?
It also just depends on what sound I'm going for, where I'm at emotionally or in life. I know, like, for example, Strokes of Incarceration is just like the embodiment of college torture. Like I was just hating college so much, and I put that all that frustration into that album, and I think it came out really well, especially on the song. I think the lyrics on the first song, or the first actual song besides the intro song, I forget the name of it. I don't remember my own songs.
It's okay. There's so many.
Yeah, the first actual track on Strokes of Incarceration that I can't remember the name of right now. I think the lyrics on that one like perfectly describe how I felt at the time going to college. I switched majors since then, so it's gotten better, but yeah, that was pretty rough. But like that's an example of just like where I'm at and what inspires me.
Okay.
Or it's just sometimes it's just things that I'm interested in. Like I just made a song about Winona Ryder, and I love Winona Ryder, so I made a song about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there a certain feeling or emotion that you want your listeners to have while listening to your music?
I mean, hopefully they can relate to it. I mean, that's what everybody wants, is that, you know, they feel some sort of connection to it. So that way we're kind of all feeling the same things together, you know, like it kind of gives me the assurance that like I'm not alone in whatever situation I'm in. Or I mean, it really is just about the tone of the record. Like if it's a fun song, I want them to dance to it. If it's a sad song, I want them to, you know, feel it. I want them to understand it, really. I just want them to understand the music and like put themselves in it, I guess.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So with this like weird state that the world's in, how have you been connecting with your fans?
You mean with like the virus and everything?
Yeah, not being able to play shows and whatnot.
I mean, it's pretty much been the same because I'm mostly just online. I don't really connect with fans outside of the e world, so it's mostly just been the same. Yeah, I spend most of my time indoors anyway.
Oh, I felt that.
Me too. Yeah. So as we stated before, you've put out a lot of music. Are you working on any right now that you could tell us about? Even though you did just release Zerwee 2, but like.
Yeah, I know I did release Zerwee 2, but I actually have 2 songs in on another EP, which will come,
Yeah.
which will come out hopefully maybe August.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully.
That's
Maybe
so
it could be this month if I'm inspired enough to finish it, but I was just working on it today. But that one's like super avant-garde and super like noisy, and it's very different from anything I've made before. Even, I mean, like, I guess the closest thing I can relate it to would be, I guess, Halloween 4, but even Halloween 4 is a little, it's different. It's definitely different. There's not a lot of like singing. It's more like just like poetry and screaming. If so there's that, and then I also, instead of I feel like Halloween 4 was, speaking of Halloween 4, was like, I don't know, I thought I was really proud of that record, at least the writing, and I thought it turned out pretty well too. And I felt I didn't feel, I guess I don't have the inspiration to make, or I just don't feel like it's right just yet to make a Halloween 5, because I think Halloween 4 was just so strong, in my opinion. So I'm probably gonna delay Halloween 5 until next year, but instead for Halloween this year, I'm gonna be recording a cover album that'll be free of old rebel country songs about like murder and stuff.
Oh, wow.
From like the 50s and 60s and stuff. So like, and about like ghosts and heartbreak, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
That's gonna be free. And then of course I have this one. This one's the most interesting one. This will be my next full-length album, hopefully. That'll probably not be out until next year, but this one is as a concept album. I don't know if you saw my tweet about it. It's a concept album full of sea shanties about gay pirates.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I was driving home one day and I just had the idea. I was like, I want to make a pirate love story, like a pirate sea shanty opera, and it would. And I was like, well, that's, it would make this better if the pirates were gay. And like, and I was like, well, and the thing is, like, it's gonna be really subtle too, because like I don't want it to. It's gonna be like, it's not gonna be like a big deal. It's just they just happen to be gay, like so
like no homo kind of thing.
Yeah, well,
except full homo.
To full homo,
yeah.
but it's more just like subtle, like it's like, for example, like a guy will be singing about a love song for his lover Johnny, like it's gonna be very, like, I don't know, it'll be interesting. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, it's yeah. Well, it's actually about a ship, It's about a pirate ship and of the crewmates on board, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
that's so exciting.
So yeah, it should be good, hopefully.
Yeah.
But those are the only 3 projects I'm working on right now. But I'm working on 3 projects.
God damn.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna ask, because you do have Halloween 1 through 4.
Mhm.
Are you gonna ever do a Christmas album?
I did a Christmas EP
Mhm.
a little while ago. That was just like, just covers of, the typical Christmas songs,
Yeah.
which I just released on my YouTube channel,
Oh.
and that was it. I didn't release it anywhere else, and like it's okay. I don't know if I'd actually, because like Halloween, I mean Christmas is like, it would be kind of maybe like. Because the thing with Halloween, it's just so easy to make an album about. Because like Halloween is just such a fun holiday, and it's crazy, and there's just so much things you can write songs about. Christmas is like more uptight and like more happy, and
Yeah. Be
I don't know.
happy.
It's like it's hard to write unless like it was like really morbid Christmas songs or something like that. But that also falls more into the Halloween kind of thing. Like I don't know. It's just more fun to make Halloween songs. If it was Christmas songs, then it would have to, I don't know. It would feel kind of cheesy, I feel like.
Okay,
But
yeah, that's fair.
but I don't know. You never know. Maybe one year.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe 1 year. So where do you see the project in the next 5 years?
Where do I see the project? That's a big question. I have no idea. I'm always just planning on what I want to do. Everything that I do, if you couldn't tell, is very spontaneous. For example, like I said, I'm working on 3 things right now. It's really just like if I have an idea, I chase it and I do it. If it doesn't work out, I scrap it. If it does work out, I release it. So I'm probably still going to be releasing music at that time, and I'm hoping that I still have listeners, hopefully more listeners than I have now. But yeah, it's hard to say.
All right, fair. Okay, so for the last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music and go straight to death row. So,
Okay.
if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Man, I don't really. That's a good question. I don't, but like I feel like, because like I eat just like so much crappy like fast food and stuff. But I feel like to order that would be like just shitty. Like because like it would have. I feel like it would have to be something I haven't tried before. So
but then it's like a gamble, because then it's like you either like it and it's a great last meal, or then you hate it and it's like
yeah.
you waste it.
But I don't know, man. It's like it really just that's I'd have to know what. I have no idea what I'd be thinking at that point. It's really hard to know exactly what I'd want, but maybe like a salmon or something. I don't know.
Wait, what drink?
What drink?
Yeah.
It would have to be like a fine rum or something.
All right.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. So maybe some like that would do.
All right. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh man, that's a great question. Oh man, I'm just like thinking of all these fictional worlds in my head right now. Of course, there's like there's a confliction with this question in my head, because on one side there's these really cool worlds that I would love to visit or love to like live in, but on the other side, a lot of those are super dangerous.
Yeah.
So, like for example, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just go to New Zealand, but
Exactly.
I mean, like Lord of the Rings would be awesome, but there's like orcs and beasts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Over the Garden Wall. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's a short Cartoon Network miniseries that aired in like 2014, and it's absolutely incredible. And the world they made in that is also really great, but also very dangerous. Like Star Wars would also be awesome.
Yeah.
But like Star Wars would only be. But then again, like these people that you see in Star Wars going all like, if you lived in the Star Wars universe, like you could just be like, I don't know, you could just be like a loser on Tatooine that just stays there your whole life.
Yeah.
Or you can be like the people and you see in the movies and the shows where like they're flying starships across the galaxy, but those are the same people that get shot at. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
They die in the next episode.
yeah,
So
yeah. So it's really just I don't know. That's a good question, but it's also a dangerous one. But if I had to choose, I'd probably go with the Star Wars universe.
Star Wars. Would you be a Jedi or a Sith?
The Jedi 100%. Well, actually, I'd be what they call a gray Jedi or whatever.
Okay.
The like a rogue Jedi, because I don't necessarily agree with everything. I'm like an Anakin fan before he turned to the dark side. like I think Anakin was right. There was a lot of hypocrisies and stuff that just wasn't right about the Jedi Order that I disagree with. So I would be like a Jedi, or I'd fight for good with my Jedi powers, but I wouldn't be a Jedi. I wouldn't follow the Jedi Order.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Good answer. So I have the honor of asking the last question, and everyone we've spoken to has said it's the most important question.
Okay.
What is your favorite color?
Probably red.
Red?
Yeah, like a darker red, like a moderate red, I suppose.
Alright.
I also really like black, but I mean black obviously goes with everything in it, and it represents darkness in all its glory, but I don't know, something about red is just satisfying to look at.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know if you can see. We haven't even fully painted my room yet, but that's just. I just looked at the red splashes on the wall, and I was like, yeah, those are the kind of reds that I like.
Yeah.
All right.
So as Corey said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything we'd like to plug?
Plug? Like you mean like play any songs?
Oh.
No.
No, like I have an album out.
Like
go listen to that.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know the lingo. I mean, I guess I just released Zerwee 2, so Zerwee Part 2 is what it's formally called, and it's I don't know, it's pretty good. You should go listen to it, and I have, like I said, a new EP on the way soon, and I know it's not everybody's gonna get into it. It's gonna be more out there, but hopefully some people like it, and I encourage you to listen to it and look out for it.
Hell yeah. So thank you for sitting down with us. This has been Billy Cobb and We're the Good Noise Podcast.